The moment your money becomes expected instead of appreciated, you've crossed a line. And most men cross it without even realizing it. What they call helping quickly gets adopted to normal routine. And at that point, the relationship quietly begins to die. Support strengthens attraction. Sponsorship replaces it. Most men confuse the two because they want to be the hero, but in this environment, being the hero often just means you're the one keeping the lights on in a room you don't own. Today, we're breaking down the quiet, psychological shift that happens the second helping out turns into a payroll. We're talking about why paying a bargirl, specifically in a recurring way, changes everything about the dynamic, and why you can't buy your way into a genuine connection. First, let's define the two terms because if you don't name it, you can't fix it. Many men confuse these two terms, but they are not as close as they appear. In fact, these two often lead to opposite outcomes. Support is optional. It's a situational gesture, a one-time fix for a specific problem. It's temporary and most importantly, it doesn't change how she treats you. If the support stops, the vibe stays the same. Sponsorship, however, is expected. It's ongoing. It becomes part of your identity in her life. Sponsorship doesn't solve a problem, it funds a lifestyle or a system that already exists, and it rewires the entire dynamic. Support says, I choose to help in this moment. Sponsorship says, I am now part of the operating budget. And once that happens, you are no longer interacting as a man. You are interacting as a resource. Here's the part most men don't understand. Attraction requires uncertainty, not chaos or fear, but non-guarantee. Money changes the vibe instantly. The moment your financial input becomes predictable, your emotional value drops. Not because she's evil or planned it, but because a bargirl categorizes people based on function. Men get placed into buckets fast. Romantic interest, fun, party guy, sexy but unstable, emotional outlet, utility. Sponsorship puts you firmly in the utility bucket. And the problem with being a utility is utilities are meant to be used. You become managed, not desired. Gratitude decays fast. The first time you pay a bill, she's relieved. After the sixth time, it's just another Tuesday. If she depends on you to survive, she can no longer afford to be honest with you. She has to manage you. She isn't loving you, she's maintaining the infrastructure. And that is a catastrophic shift in any relationship. Let's look how this plays out because the pattern is painfully common. It starts small, a bill here, a gap month there, an emergency that you solve with cash. You feel good, useful, needed. She's warm and affectionate when she thanks you. But slowly the payments become routine. Different amounts, different timing, different excuses. Then you notice a strange phenomenon. Your emotional intimacy hits a ceiling, but her financial requests just keep climbing. Her effort starts to plateau. Her availability narrows. Her emotional warmth stabilizes at pleasant but distant. Nothing dramatic happens, but what felt like a spark feels more like a script now. You find yourself wondering why, despite all you do, nothing changes. Now when you hesitate, she doesn't get scared. She gets annoyed. Because in her mind, you bought the role and you have to play it. At this point, this is where men start to lie to themselves. They think they aren't paying for the relationship, that their help is voluntary. They frame themselves as a savior in her world. They often compare themselves to other men in a positive manner, that they aren't as controlling as other guys, that their support is temporary. Here's the thing, every sponsor believes he's the exception. That belief is the entry fee. Men think sponsorship buys security. In fact, it does the opposite. A man's generosity does not make him special. It removes the only that ever protected him, her incentive to choose you freely. The more you pay, ironically, the less she has to invest. And humans protect what they invest in. They manage what invests in them. Here's the cold part. Once sponsorship begins, it is very difficult to reverse without tanking the entire relationship. That's because sponsorship creates obligation, not desire. Obligation breeds resentment and management, not closeness. When a woman needs you to pay her rent, she cannot truly want you. That's because her want is clouded by she must. And here's the harshest pill to swallow. You can stop paying, sure, but you cannot undo what the payment already changed, because now she knows you can pay, and every no after that feels unnatural to her. Once you are the sponsor, reverting back to romantic interest is nearly impossible. The power dynamic has been baked in. That's why men who sponsor feel strangely lonely while being needed. It's because you are present and you are important, but just not in the way you think. But if you want to help, help, but do it with your eyes open. And if this hit uncomfortably close, good. That discomfort is clarity arriving late. I will leave you with this. If your money replaces her effort, it will eventually replace her interest as well. Comment below if you've ever realized too late that you weren't supporting her anymore, that you had somehow become a sponsor. Like the video if this saved you time, money, or delusion. Subscribe if you want analysis that doesn't flatter you but actually protects you. Stay sharp.